Good evening, this is Rasak Samzaka Jacob. Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has ruled himself out of the race to be the next Congress president. He said so in as many words after meeting with Congress President Sonia Gandhi, where he apologized for the incidents that happened on Sunday and Monday. Now, with this, the so-called establishment candidate, or the candidate that the Gandhi family seems to have been comfortable with, he has now bowed out, which means the race narrows down to between Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor. The nominations close tomorrow, and unless there is a surprise third candidate, the question that's being raised is who then becomes the establishment candidate. Digvijay Singh has had a major fallout with the Gandhi family some years ago. Shashi Tharoor was seen as part of the G23. Neither of them will be seen as a staunch, quote-unquote, Gandhi family loyalist. Did the High Command completely overestimate its power with Gehlot and Gehlot's support within the CLP? And what now happens to Sachin Pilot and his dreams of becoming Chief Minister? Because Mr. Gehlot has indicated that he's very much going to continue as Chief Minister in Rajasthan.
कल परसों की घटना हुई है और मेरी मॉरल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी थी कि उस प्रस्ताव पार होता, तो मैंने तय किया है अब मैं इस माहौल के अंदर चुनाव नहीं लड़ूंगा.
After finding himself out of favour with the Gandhis, the one-time favourite has ruled himself out of Congress's president race. 4 days after a rebellion in the party's Rajasthan unit over Ashok Gehlot being possibly replaced by his arch-rival Sachin Pilot as Chief Minister, Gehlot landed up in Delhi to meet Sonia Gandhi, who advised him not to contest.
मैंने सोनिया जी से भी सॉरी फील किया है, माफी मांगी है, तो मेरी मॉरल रेस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि एक मुख्यमंत्री होने के बावजूद भी मैं एक प्रस्ताव, एक लाइन का जो हमारी परंपरा है, पहली बार वो परंपरा के अंतर्गत वो प्रस्ताव पास नहीं होगा.
With Gehlot bowing out, the race for a new non-Gandhi Congress president comes down to these two men for now. One is seen as a staunch Gandhi loyalist, the other is a member of the G23. While Shashi Tharoor had already declared his candidature and is expected to file his nomination on Friday, Digvijay Singh finally ended the suspense by picking up the nomination papers.
हम लोगों का पूरा प्रयास रहा कि राहुल जी हमारे नए राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष बने. वो नहीं बनते हैं तो प्रियंका जी बने. लेकिन जब परिवार ने बिल्कुल तय कर लिया कि बिल्कुल हम किसी हालत में नहीं लड़ेंगे चुनाव, तो फिर फील्ड खुली है, जिसको लड़ना है लड़े.
Whether more names will pop up or who will become the Congress president is still a wait-and-watch game. The only thing that's certain is that it's the first time in over 20 years that a Gandhi won't be in the top post. Another person whose fate remains uncertain is Sachin Pilot. He has been long waiting his moment in Rajasthan, but has always been blocked by Team Gehlot. Even after the latest maneuver by Gehlot's MLAs, there was no action taken against the Rajasthan Chief Minister. While Gehlot is out of the Congress president race, he continues to reign over Rajasthan, which means that Pilot has once again been hung out to dry. So is another desert storm only a matter of time? Has the Gandhis' inability to get a grip on the party been exposed once again? And will a new Congress president be able to fix the multitude of problems that the party is facing?
All right, big twist and turn continuing in the race to be the next Congress president. Now, Sachin Pilot is meeting Sonia Gandhi at 10 Janpat. The Congress has also issued a gag order to its leaders in Rajasthan and warned of disciplinary action in case of any violation. Remember, this meeting between Mr. Pilot and Mrs. Gandhi has been going on for close to an hour now. So clearly, something big is being discussed there. Let me go across to Pallavi Ghosh, who's joining us live from 10 Janpat. Pallavi, what can Mrs. Gandhi possibly tell Sachin Pilot, and that too after what we heard just earlier this afternoon when Ashok Gehlot met her and came out and said that he's not going to run for Congress president?
Well, in fact, in a short while from now, we do expect Sachin Pilot to come out of 10 Janpad, where he's huddled in a meeting with Mrs. Sonia Gandhi as well as KC Venugopal. Obviously, Sachin Pilot would expect some kind of a reassurance on what he says that he has been promised by the Gandhis long time back, that his time is going to come and he's going to become the chief minister. But, it may not be an easy decision to make. Maybe she doesn't make that commitment to him immediately because there are factors which have to be kept in mind. The MLAs, for that matter. We've been talking about in a comparison to the Punjab situation where the Congress party too managed to replace one chief minister, but towards the fag end of his tenure, Captain Amrinder Singh had also lost grip over his party, over his government, and therefore it was easier, I guess, for the Gandhis to come out with a replacement for him. Immediately, if you look at the situation in Rajasthan, Zaka, that doesn't seem to be the case. He certainly seems to be in control of the situation, of the party and of the MLAs. Because if it hadn't been so, then you wouldn't have seen that letter issued by Mr. KC Venugopal a short while back, where he says and threatens disciplinary action against those who are speaking out of turn. Who are the ones who have been speaking out of turn? Well, it's most of those MLAs who are part of Gehlot's camp. They have been very critical of Sachin Pilot, saying those who have been loyal to the party are the ones who need to be rewarded and not those who are actually leaving the party, planning up with the BJP to gang up.
All right, we'll see how the story plays out. For the moment, thanks very much, Pallavi. She also spoke to Digvijay Singh, who's now, at least as of this evening, one of the two candidates who is going to fight the Congress president's elections. Let's just play out what Digvijay Singh had to say, and then we'll open this up to our panelists.
Digvijay, a lot of developments have happened over the few days, and today itself there is this whole question about Mr. Ashok Gehlot and the trust factor. He seemingly belied the trust of the Gandhis. Is that the reason why you stepped in?
Well, when it's a clear indication by the leadership that they are not contesting, they are not interfering, and it's a free and fair election for any PCC delegate to fight an election. So I thought I should try my hand. Why not?
But do you think Mr. Ashok Gehlot has let down the trust of the Gandhis?
No, I don't think so. He's been a very committed and loyalist leader and committed to the family and to the party. So there's not a trust deficit. The responsibility is being fixed by the disciplinary committee, which have given notices to those who have spoken openly against the High Command. 99.99% of congressmen are committed to the family, are committed to the Congress ideology. And there is no discussion on that, and there is no dissent on that.
All right, let me now open this up to our panelists. R.P. Singh, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. George Kurian is a political strategist associated with the Congress Party. Rashid Gidwai, author and senior journalist. Smita Prakash, editor of ANI. And Radhika Ramseshan, columnist, joining us. Let me start with you, Mr. George Kurian, because we're talking about the party that you associate yourself with. The question is that Ashok Gehlot was supposed to be the establishment candidate, the candidate who was supposedly close to the family. Now with the two who are running, Digvijay Singh, who at one point, to be fair to him, was very close to Rahul Gandhi, and then of course they reportedly had a fallout. And then of course Shashi Tharoor, who's seen as part of the G23. Who is now your establishment candidate?
Well, Zaka, I fully agree with what you said. To begin with, Ashok Gehlot was one of the probable candidates. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not getting your feed as of right now, but anyway.
We can hear you. Go ahead,
Yeah, so the point is, Congress Party, as you played the Digvijay Singh's bite, he said anyone is free to contest the presidential election. I strongly believe both are capable as far as the presidential candidate is concerned, and it's too early to even predict as to how many names will come up by tomorrow 3 p.m. And post that, it is only on the 8th of October that one would finally come to know, after the final date of withdrawal of candidature, that who would be in the race.
No, but is there a surprise third candidate who will pop up simply because of the way events have played out? Had Mr. Gehlot still been in the race, then the chances of a surprise third candidate does not arise. But now that he's not there, is there the possibility of a third candidate who could be a family appointee or a family candidate, as it were?
Well, one can't predict on that one as of right now, at this point in time, because anything can happen until 3 p.m. tomorrow. There are nomination forms which have been taken, so one has to wait and watch.
R.P. Singh, irrespective of who becomes the next Congress president, I think it would be fair to say that it's going to be a non-Gandhi person, right? It's going to be a non-Gandhi at the helm of affairs of the Congress party. And therefore, the BJP's principal attack against the Gandhi family, against the Congress party of promoting dynastic politics, that is blunted a bit.
Zaka, I have a little different take in whole of this fiasco or whatever is happening now within the Congress party. This is a local satrap which has raised a bogey or which has raised a voice against the Delhi dynasty. And he's smart. He has outsmarted the Delhi dynasty in what Delhi dynasty wanted. They wanted him to be the president, which they thought would be remote control president, and get Sachin Pilot in Rajasthan, and then things would be settled. But he's very smart. He outsmarted them, and then he asked his local MLAs to raise the bill, and then he came and said sorry also here. What is the real reason? Because he knows that being a party president, nothing is going to happen, because nothing is going to happen with the party. He knows that the party is not going to win elections till 2024. All assembly elections, including the parliamentary elections, they are bound to lose. And he doesn't want to take this on his head, one. Secondly, this is an issue of dynasty again in Rajasthan. He knows if Sachin Pilot becomes the chief minister, his son will have no chance. Vaibhav Gehlot will have no chance. So he wants to establish his son before he quits or he's moved out of Rajasthan chief ministership, because in the next election, they're not going to win that election also. So this is my take on this. But yes, within Gandhi family, they have to decide who's going to be the next president. It's not that it's going to happen by a natural choice by Shashi Tharoor or anyone for the regard.
Okay.
It's ultimately going to be a person whomever Gandhis want or Vadras want.
Smita Prakash, you know, the fact remains, and we have the benefit of hindsight, Mr. Gehlot never wanted to run for Congress president. The way he saw it, he was better off being the chief minister of one state rather than, aspiring for the top position in the Congress party. What message does that send to lakhs of Congress karyakartas that the chief minister of one state is more powerful than your party president? Surely in the BJP, that's not how it works.
Well, that's why he's being punished, no, Zaka. Because see, on 21st September, the Congress says nobody needs permission from Sonia Gandhi or Rahul Gandhi to contest the presidential polls. And then on 8 days later, Ashok Gehlot is told by Sonia Gandhi not to contest, which is today. So what happens to this free and fair polls? Clearly, it is pointing to other parties that, we are just like you. I mean, here was a party which said we are not like you. We have democracy. But obviously, nothing like that happened, and the Gandhis pulled the strings. So here you have Gehlot being shown the door. Now, Pallavi just said that unlike Punjab, where Amrinder was not really in control of his people, Gehlot is in control of his people. If he's in control of his people, which means that the meeting out there and this, what he said that a tradition, an old tradition of Rajasthan is gone, or old tradition of the Congress is gone, where a one-line statement from the High Command was given approval by everybody. Gehlot, which means that if that tradition was broken by this parallel meeting, that tradition was broken on the instructions of Gehlot. If he's so much in control of his people, and if he's not in control of his people, then why should he be made the chief minister or continue to be in the chief minister's place? So it's a really weird thing which has happened, because if Gehlot has undermined the authority of Sonia Gandhi, in spite of that, he's not being punished. And if he continues as chief minister, that just sends a signal out that it doesn't matter. You can keep saying whatever you want. So Chhattisgarh, which is the only other state where the Congress is in power, there too this kind of a rebellion will happen, because the scene will be played out the same way, that Sonia Gandhi is not in control. Because in today's meeting right now, when Sachin has gone to meet
Smita, I'm sorry to interrupt. Sachin Pilot speaking right now.
और कार्यक्रम हुआ राजस्थान के जयपुर के अंदर, उस पर विस्तार से हमने चर्चा करी और मैं मानता हूं कि जो मेरे सेंटिमेंट्स थे, जो मेरी भावनाएं थी, जो मेरा फीडबैक था, वो मैंने इत्मीनान से कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष सोनिया गांधी जी को बताया है। और हम सब यही चाहते हैं कि हम इसी तरह मेहनत कर 2023 का विधानसभा चुनाव जीते। उसके लिए हमको मिलकर काम करना पड़ेगा। और राजस्थान के संदर्भ में जो भी निर्णय या जो भी डिसीजन लेना है वो कांग्रेस पार्टी लेंगी। हम सबका एक ही उद्देश्य है, बाकी राज्यों में कांग्रेस पार्टी के चुनाव को जीत को सुनिश्चित करें। और मुझे पूरा यकीन है कि हम लोग अगले 12-13 महीने में खूब मेहनत कर दोबारा कांग्रेस की सरकार बनाएंगे।
राजस्थान रहेगा कि आप दिल्ली आ रहे हैं?
मैंने कई बार मैं पहले भी कह चुका हूँ कि मेरी पहली प्राथमिकता है कि हम 30 साल से राजस्थान में 5 साल कांग्रेस 5 साल पूरा विश्वास है कि हम मेहनत करके दोबारा कांग्रेस सरकार बना सकते हैं। 2023 में कांग्रेस की सरकार कैसे रिपीट हो, ये हम सबका सामूहिक प्रायोरिटी है। हमारा उद्देश्य और उस दिशा में जो भी काम करना है, जो भी आने वाली रणनीति बनानी है, उस पर विस्तार से चर्चा हम लोगों ने करी है। हमारे एआईसीसी के जो नेता हैं और कांग्रेस प्रेसिडेंट हैं, उनसे हमने खूब मिलकर अपनी बातों को रखा है, अपनी भावनाओं को पहुंचाया है। और राजस्थान के संदर्भ में मैं समझता हूँ सकारात्मक जो निर्णय लेने होंगे वो कांग्रेस पार्टी प्रेसिडेंट लेंगे।
मुख्यमंत्री कौन होगा? मुख्यमंत्री कौन रहेगा?
सचिन
Sachin Pilot essentially saying that he's expressed his thoughts and opinions to the Congress President Sonia Gandhi. He's also said that whatever decision needs to be taken will be taken by the Congress High Command vis-a-vis Rajasthan is concerned. And most importantly, he has said that as far as he is concerned, his most important priority is to stay in Rajasthan and ensure that the Congress Party wins a re-election in 2023. What do you make of that, Smita Prakash?
Yeah, so his demeanor, his body language seems that he has beaten the retreat. You know, he's been stabbed so many times in the back. One would wonder if we can count also in the number of times that he's... See, look, Zaka, it doesn't... patience is something that he has to have till a couple of months more, right? So it is, the advice must have been given to him because after all, it is not in his grain to make the switch to the BJP, which everybody says, "Arey, kyun nahi jata BJP mein?" It's not in his grain. See, he was born into this party. It is different from Scindia. Many people say, why doesn't he make the switch like Scindia? Scindia is different. He had Vijay Raje Scindia as grandmother, who was the mother figure of the BJP. Whereas Sachin, on the other hand, he's born into it. He's Rajesh Pilot's son, right? He's into that. So for him, rebelling becomes extremely difficult. And he has age on his right side. It's just a couple of months more, right? 2023 is, how far is it? Mm-hmm. So he was probably thinking, let me wait, because this kind of a rebellion will have long-term effect, which we were just saying, that it will give the effect that a rebel candidate has to be promoted because, if there... So it could reflect on Chhattisgarh. So all said and done, I think from the body language, it seems that he's beating retreat.
So Rashid Kidwai, here's the situation. I mean, the Congress High Command's plan was, let's bring Ashok Gehlot to the center. Let's kick him upstairs, as they say in corporate lingo. Bring in Sachin Pilot as the chief minister. You've basically hit two birds with one stone. Now, the opposite seems to be the problem, where Mr. Gehlot has said, I have no interest in becoming Congress president. There was this whole rebellion that happened on Sunday and Monday. And now, the Congress High Command is left with no choice but to seemingly, quote-unquote, teach him a lesson. And if they do that, if they remove him, either now or 2 months from now or 3 months from now, he's going to make sure that the entire CLP votes against Sachin Pilot. I don't think Sachin Pilot, if it came down to that, even if he became chief minister, with this current legislature party in Rajasthan, will be able to win a trust vote.
Zaka, in some ways, this kind of formulation is an exaggeration, because since the time of Devraj Ars, there's been no chief minister, to my knowledge, who enjoyed, support in the Congress legislature party. They all have been throughout the, ages of 80s, 90s, till date, have been, even when Rajshekhar Reddy was killed in an air crash, Jagan Mohan Reddy and his family, Jagan wanted to become CM. Even they could not muster that kind of majority support. It was after election, of course, everything changed. So what I'm saying is, this is the history of a legacy of Congress. Mr. Ashok Gehlot is being clever by half. He knew it when this kind of package deal was offered to him, that he will be, kicked up or whatever, elevated as Congress president. And obviously he knew that he would have to vacate the chair for someone, and perhaps for Sachin Pilot he had afterthought. But now that he has fallen from grace, I think it's just a matter of days, if not weeks, that he can survive. The Congress doesn't want to open on too many fronts. But if tomorrow CLP meeting is called officially, I don't think Mr. Gehlot will be in a position to enjoy. But it's a question of optics. I don't think
but
Congress will get
Rashid, just 4 days ago, 90 out of 100 plus MLAs that the Congress has in Rajasthan were all backing Ashok Gehlot. Only about 17 MLAs were backing Sachin Pilot. Are you telling me that's going to change in a matter of the next few days?
Zaka, whoever is a chief minister will enjoy as well. Whoever loses that kind of support. That's why we gave examples from the time of Devraj Ars. There's been nobody who has been able to muster support after falling from grace. Whether it was Arjun Singh, I can go on giving 1,000 examples from the Congress history. So what I'm saying is that we can have an opinion, but what I'm saying is the Congress would around Diwali or after that will perhaps contemplate some kind of change in Rajasthan. Till then, of course, Mr. Gehlot is relatively speaking, he's safe.
Okay. So that brings us to the two candidates, at least the ones that we know so far, which is Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor. Radhika Ramaseshan, they couldn't be as different as each other. One hails from Madhya Pradesh, is a Raja, is a Machiavellian character, goes around behind the scenes. He's been chief minister. He's contested elections all the way from Nagar Palika to MLA, MP, and of course multi-term chief minister. On the other hand, you have a Shashi Tharoor who is foreign educated, Oxford, well-spoken, almost like an academic, if you will. Not from North India, does not come across as speaking Hindi fluently. Chalk and cheese, Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor.
Well, I wouldn't say chalk and cheese, Zaka, because I think both are successful politicians. Digvijay Singh has had 2 terms as chief minister. After that, of course, he has not been able to rehabilitate himself politically in Madhya Pradesh because the BJP has just overrun the state. But nonetheless, he's kept himself relevant, if you notice. He shepherded Rahul Gandhi through the UP elections in 2012, not very successful again, but nonetheless, he's kept himself irrelevant. Now, Shashi Tharoor, he's again successful in his own way. I mean, getting elected thrice from Thiruvananthapuram, and of course, he doesn't enjoy the support and confidence of the Kerala Congress. That's also being said. But nonetheless, he's proved that he's a politician in his own right. I mean, a hardcore politician. He's not a softy, romantic or anything as people make out. I think he's a hardcore politician. But importantly, both have courted their share of controversies.
No, but
let's not forget.
The issue, the problem is, I think it's a clash of, for want of a better phrase, it's a clash of generations. Digvijay Singh represents the old, again, for want of a better word, the wheeler-dealer culture of the Congress party. Shashi Tharoor, on the other hand, is the head of the All India Professional Congress for a good reason. He comes across as a professional. Maybe he entered politics by mistake, but he's made a virtue out of that. But Smita Prakash, I don't think this contest could have been any more of a contrast than it is right now between Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor.
No, it's not. Zaka, if I may say so, this is not going to be a contest between just these two people. No way is either Digvijay or Shashi Tharoor the favorite or have the confidence of the Gandhi family. They may give that impression right now, and people might think that that's what is happening, but there will be more candidates. Remember, more forms have gone out. The G23 does not want to be unrepresented, and they do not see Shashi Tharoor as a representation. So you can be sure that there will be somebody from that G23 group who will, and there will also be somebody who are more loyal. Maybe an Ambika Soni, maybe a Mukul Vasnik, maybe an AK Antony. Don't know who, but there will be more. It will not be just between Digvijaya and Shashi Tharoor. So they have put in their names, and for prime time tonight they are the 2 names, but by tomorrow there'll be more.
Well, it's not too far away, is it? But Rashid, again I go back to, all right, we've lost Rashid. Let me ask George Kurian that. I go back to what Rahul Gandhi said he is clear in his mind that no Gandhi should be contesting for Congress president. And reportedly, privately, he's also said that the family should not be seen as endorsing any candidate. Now, I don't know what that entails, but is that even possible? Because the BJP is saying that whoever the next Congress president is, no matter he or she, will be remote controlled by 10J.
Well, Zaka, what Rahul has categorically said is absolutely right. There is enough talent in the Congress party, and a lot of leaders carry decades of experience and administrative experience that they can transform the way Congress functions, meaning a transformational change, which the Congress workers and the entire unit is looking forward to. And as far as Smita Prakash, I would like to correct her there. Mr. Gehlot, on moral grounds, has decided not to contest. So it's not Mrs. Gandhi who has asked him to step down.
No, but why did he have to do that? I mean, something obviously went wrong for him to step down on moral grounds, right? That was not the case till last Saturday.
Yeah, that is because the way the MLAs who are loyalist to him and have put him into an embarrassing situation. So that is why he apologized and he decided not to contest.
No, so Rashid, just weigh in on what Smita was saying earlier, that she believes very firmly that there will be another third candidate, a surprise candidate, perhaps a loyalist candidate tomorrow, and the fight's just not going to be about Digvijay Singh and Shashi Tharoor alone.
I think, Zaka, there is one very simple way to assess which way wind is blowing tomorrow itself. It depends upon, the Congress has a system of there has to be 10 proposers. So from one state or more than one state. So if Mr. Digvijay Singh manages to, what his cap is claiming, that there are going to be 10, proposers, that means 10 states are going to back him, then obviously he would be a semi-official, quasi-official candidate or high command's candidate. If there is anyone who gets more states, I don't think Mr. Digvijay Singh in that case would be in fray. So tomorrow you can find out if Mr. Shashi Tharoor or Manish Tiwari or whoever contest from the G23, they will have one or two, not more than that, sets of nominations, whereas the kind of official contender will have 10 or more. It's a simple thing that you can find out.
What is the current equation between Digvijay Singh and the family? I know at one point of time, he was Rahul Gandhi's right hand, left hand, call it what you want, but they had a fallout.
I think he's back to... Yeah, so I think he's back to, 2012 situation when UP election, Mr. Digvijay Singh was very closely coordinating with Rahul Gandhi. But just one thing I want to say about Shashi Tharoor and Digvijay Singh. I think somewhere post-election, it will be like what happened, between Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama in that Democrats primary. So Mr. Tharoor would get accommodated. I mean, I know it's a bit wish to equate the two, but some kind of Mr. Tharoor hopes to, get accommodated, and Digvijay Singh would gladly, bring him on. So it's not going to be in that kind of contest, yeah.
RP Singh, so after the election, one will make way for the other, or one will be accommodated. Because I think they also tweeted a picture. I think Mr. Tharoor tweeted a picture this morning saying that we are both born and bred in the Congress ideology, and this is not a fight against each other, but this is a larger fight against the BJP and what the BJP stands for.
Zaka, I think Digvijay Singh is more died into that Congress wool than Shashi Tharoor. Remember that Zakir Naik is the apostle of peace, and the Hafiz Saeed is a Sahab, and Osama bin Laden is Osama G for him. So he's more into that. But it's their internal thing again. I mean, we have no one to comment whoever they pick up as a party president. But ultimately, as I'll repeat again, that the local setup has won against the Delhi dynasty, right? As a norm. We don't know what will happen tomorrow. And also that whoever becomes the party president will be a remote control president.
No, but Rashid is saying, RP Saab, that there will be action against Ashok Gehlot around Diwali or post-Diwali, because High Command never brooks this kind of indiscipline.
Zaka, I'm not running away, and God gives long life to Rajesh Saab. We'll again meet and we'll discuss. Because it's very difficult for Congress party to do away with Gehlot. They would not like to repeat what has happened in Punjab. And again, Gehlot would not like to leave Rajasthan because he wants to establish his son. And before he finally puts his shoes down in Vaibhav Gehlot as his successor in politics.
But coming back to Smita Prakash, you know, again, I keep going back to what Rahul Gandhi keeps saying, that is, A, no Gandhi will become the Congress president, and B, that the family should not be seen as endorsing any candidate. Why do you think that's going to be so hard to implement in this race? What if there is no quote-unquote so-called official candidate or establishment candidate?
No, there will be. I mean, see, this is all posturing, right? To say that there will be nobody who is loyal and we are not interfering. I just told you like how within 8 days, 8 days back, it was like, you don't have to seek my permission. You can all, you're all congressmen and women. You can all take the form and put in your name for Congress president. Within 8 days, the message goes out to Ashok Gehlot that, you know, take back your name. Even if he says it's my moral responsibility, the fact is that he did not say moral responsibility in Jaipur. He had to come to 10 Janpad, meet with Sonia Gandhi and then say moral responsibility.
No, but that's because of what transpired,
have
right?
taken, what your MLAs did.
Smita, assuming nothing transpired,
exactly.
assuming that fiasco around the CLP meeting did not happen, he would not have had to withdraw.
Yeah, so the fact that he had to withdraw, the fact that you have now these two candidates, it will be who is the more pliable of them between these two. Now, obviously, neither of them are. So, which means that you will see tomorrow, one, like Rashid gave an indication, it's possible that Manish Tiwari from the G23 group, they are meeting tonight, one is hearing. There will be that because he's been asking for more transparency in the whole process. So he wouldn't be asking all this if he's done so much of homework, he is going to take the exam. And he has kept his cards close to his chest. He's probably going to be the one from the G23 group. There will also be somebody who will be there so that, you know, the waters are muddied now. It's not going to be just these two candidates who we think. This is what my reading is, and I think Rashid also. But one thing I want to know is that if it is going to be Digvijay, knowing what happened with Arjun Singh, do you think, Rashid, that Sonia Gandhi would want a Digvijay Singh after what happened in, between that whole process when Arjun Singh was there, the rebellion then? Madhya Pradesh politics, you know better.
No. So that can be it can be argued that Mr. Digvijay Singh likes to be with the kind of, official leadership. At that point of time, P.V. Narasimha Rao was representing the Congress official leadership, not Arjun Singh. So if that trade continues, then one can give some kind of allowance to Digvijay Singh.
Just give me a moment, Rashid. We're also getting live pictures of the Prime Minister at a Garba event this evening in Ahmedabad. He was, of course, there earlier today to inaugurate the national games, the 36th national games. And then he's now performing puja there at a Navratri event. Even as we have those pictures on the screen, let me also bring in Divya Maderna. She's a Rajasthan Congress MLA, somebody who came out and publicly sort of chastised the Chief Minister for the behavior of his loyal MLAs on Sunday and Monday when that fiasco around the CLP meeting happened. Now that Mr. Gehlot has come to Delhi, met with Sonia Gandhi and said that he's not running for Congress president, and also just moments ago, just before you came, Sachin Pilot, after a 1-hour meeting with the Congress president, with Sonia Gandhi, came out and he said that his job, his primary focus is going to go back to Rajasthan. So are we now all clear that Mr. Gehlot will continue, at least for the time being, as Chief Minister, and Sachin Pilot will have to continue to wait, something he's done for the last 4.5 years now?
Well, I won't be able to comment because I did see Mr. Gehlot briefing the press in the afternoon. And when the media questioned him that would you continue as the Chief Minister, and he said that decision I will not take, I would leave it to Mrs. Gandhi, the Congress President. And thereafter, Mr. K.C. Venugopal came in and said what is the future or what is the status of Congress in Rajasthan regarding the CM candidate, and he said we will take a decision in 1-2 days. So I don't know, I can't comment, but all I can say is that whatever decision is taken, whether the current Chief Minister is going to be continued, whether it's going to be a new face, whatever decisions been taken by the Congress High Command, I think every Congress worker, every Congress legislator is going to abide by it.
No, but very quickly, why did we then see this whole fiasco? All that was asked of in that CLP meeting last Sunday was a one-line resolution saying the High Command will decide who the next Chief Minister is going to be. Then why did we have that entire drama?
Yes.
You're saying that now, 1 week later, after all this beizti, as they say, if it comes down to just wanting this one-line resolution, then they needn't have gone through all that drama.
You know, all this fiasco would have not happened. The Congress president would have been Mr. Gehlot. And I'm very sad, and very, very unfortunate day for us. I hail from Jodhpur, so does he. We both come from the same district. My grandfather in 1998 had brought him. He was an NSUI president as a young boy to contest for parliament. And there he began his journey as a 5-time MP, 5-time MLA, 3-time chief minister. We lost the kingdom of India because of the handful 2-3 millets. These 2-3 people who called the shots, and today the Chief Minister had to take the moral responsibility. He said, even though I'm not directly responsible for what had happened, but because I'm the CLP leader, my leadership has been questioned, I could not pass one-line resolution, and so I would like to back out my name. You know, we've lost somebody who from the village could have been the pinnacle post of Congress where he served for 50 years.
Okay.
It would have been a proud moment for Rajasthan, a proud moment for Jodhpur. But all that fiasco that happened, I'm sure no chief minister would want to dent his own image.
All
and
right.
the image that how he was dented, that he wants to be the chief minister and not do this. So I would give a benefit of doubt here, and I would applaud that he took a moral responsibility here.
Okay.
But you know what remains is that there are people who are still going, sorry.
No, I'm
people
out of
still going
time.
out and
But
making
let's see
comments and
how
press
this plays out between first Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot.
Yes.
As Rashid was saying a moment ago, they might not take any action now because the immediate priority is to see through the election process for the next Congress president, and then subsequently, of course, there might be action taken. But who may that Congress president be? Is it going to be just the two candidates that we know of as of tonight, or will there be a surprise third candidate? We'll know in less than 24 hours. For the moment, I want to thank all our guests, R.P. Singh, George Kurian, Divya Maderna, Smita Prakash, Radhika Ramaseshan, and Rashid Kidwai. Let's now move on to our second debate. It's a landmark judgment. The Supreme Court today ruling that all women, whether they are married, not married, living in, are all entitled to a safe and legal abortion process, making a very clear distinction that there is no difference between a married or an unmarried woman in this regard, that all of them have the right to a safe and legal abortion. Now, this comes just months after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned a historic verdict, Roe v. Wade, and gave states the power to ban abortion. So, is India showing the way when it comes to reproductive rights of women?
We welcome the Supreme Court judgment. I think the most important is the recognition by the Supreme Court on the reproductive autonomy of a woman.
मैं इस पूरे जजमेंट को वेलकम करना चाहती हूँ. मुझे लगता है ये बहुत अच्छा और प्रोग्रेसिव जजमेंट है.
One of the most progressive judgments coming from the Supreme Court, absolutely respecting the rights and the choice of women.
All right, joining us now, Anubha Rastogi is senior advocate, and Rahul Manchanda is head of gynae endoscopic surgeon at the PSRI hospital. Anubha Rastogi, let me start with you. While a bulk of this judgment, of course, is on safe and legal abortion, the right for safe and legal abortion up till 24 weeks, whether you're married, unmarried, that's immaterial. But the court in its judgment has also talked about sexual assault within a marriage should also be characterized as sexual assault. And even those women inside a marriage who've had an unwanted pregnancy, if they so wish, want to abort the fetus, they should have the same right. Will this have any bearing? Because it's the first time the court in a judgment has used the construct of sexual assault within a marriage or marital rape.
So as far as this judgment is concerned, and it's specifying that in the body of the judgment as well, that as far as the marital rape being an offence is concerned, that is a separate petition which is already pending before the Supreme Court and which will be heard probably by the same bench or the different bench, in few days to come. However, what this judgment is doing is that it's saying that as far as a pregnancy as a result of rape is concerned, because for that you don't really need to have an FIR lodged, you don't need to have it proved. Where the allegation is that the pregnancy is as a result of rape, why should a pregnant woman who is also married and the pregnancy is as a result of forced sexual intercourse by her husband with her, why should she be kept out of this, out of the domain of this specific provision, which extends it up to 24 weeks for a survivor of violence, for a survivor of rape? So basically what the judgment is saying is that this kind of classification based on the marital status of a woman is unconstitutional. Whether we look at it from the point of view of a change in circumstance, which is what this case was about, or whether we look at it from the point of view of a pregnancy being as a result of rape.
Rahul Manchanda, as a gynecologist, do you come across a number of cases of unwanted pregnancies, either because of non-consent, whether it is in married or unmarried women, or it is as a result of sexual assault? And how far will today's judgment go in dealing with such cases?
So good evening and thank you for having me here. And I think to answer your question, I actually feel it's a like a red letter sort of day, and it comes especially on the day which is International Safe Abortion Day. Yes, I do come across a lot of pregnancies like this, and leaving aside the legal aspect of it, if I, as a medical person, say, it will, once it gives the right for a lady to seek medical abortion or termination of a pregnancy in the conditions that you spoke about, it will avoid a lot of unsafe abortions that are happening. And that leads to, it's probably one of the biggest causes of maternal deaths in our country in developing nations. And that will avoid a lot of unsafe abortions, a lot of morbidity and mortality to our ladies. And hence I feel by giving them this right, of course, the aspect of marital rape put so very, succinctly in the what I believe is the judgment, as well as giving it to an unmarried lady to be able to seek this help, will go a long way in women's health and in avoiding unsafe abortions.
Okay, let me get Anubhav Rastogi in again. What the court has also said is it's recognized marital rape as within the Marital Termination of Pregnancy Act. So if there's a pregnancy that's been caused by rape within a marriage, then that woman is also entitled to a legal abortion under MTP. May this, again, I keep coming back to it because there's been a huge debate around marital rape in this country. May this, if not have a bearing, but at least have some kind of a rub-off effect on the original petition which is pending before the Supreme Court on criminalizing marital rape?
To answer your question, I would think that it would definitely have a bearing, because it's a showcase of what the court is thinking, irrespective of which is the bench which is going to finally hear the marital rape case. But I think the mood of the court and how it's really viewing bodily autonomy is pretty clear from a judgment of this kind, which has really worded this really beautifully. And also, I think we must appreciate the fact that it has looked at the aspect of rape without really getting into the controversy of whether this is recognized as rape or not, but really looking at it from the point of view of being able to access a service to be able to ensure that an unwanted pregnancy does not continue.
All right.
For a woman who does not want it.
Okay, well, I think what this judgment does mention is that a pregnancy that's born out of rape or sexual assault within a marriage will get the same legal rights to abort as it would for any other unwanted pregnancy. We'll leave it at that. I want to thank both our guests for joining us and putting that into perspective for our viewers. It is a significant judgment, and no doubt I mean, just the contrast of this judgment coming just months after the US Supreme Court, no less, overturning legal abortion rights for women across the country, overturning that historic judgment of Roe versus Wade. I'm going to take a break. When we come back, don't forget to vote for your favorite startup, the unicorn that you feel deserves to be the Indian of the Year in startups. Just go to indianoftheyear.com and vote for your favorite startups of the year. Indian of the Year coming very soon here on CNN.